Hey everyone, it's Angela Fazio and my beautiful co-host Sam Staskal. And we have this most amazing guest today, Talitha Powers from Colorado Springs. She and her team specialize in using a program called Homes for Heroes. And she's going to talk to us today about the power of not just creating leads for yourself, but to create relationships that turn into amazing business. Her niche again is Homes for Heroes. And so I know a lot of you will want to contact her if you have a heart for this kind of it's her ministry, part of her ministry to serve our heroes. So once you hear, I know you're going to want to get a hold of her. So I am putting her email in the chat right now, at least I think I am, so that if you want to get a hold of Talitha about Homes for Heroes or anything that she says today, you'll have her information to do so. So welcome, Talitha. Get us started.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about building relationships and not just leads. It's something that I learned a long time ago before I came into residential resale, and I've implemented as well, and also ties into what we do with Homes for Heroes. And this applies to not just your sphere, but also online leads, if you are getting those as well. One of the things that stuck with me in a sales training that I did years ago was they said, stop the sales pitch and start a conversation. When we're in real estate, we're not selling a shirt, we're not selling jewelry. This is one of the most important things and times in somebody's life. It's going to be one of the biggest investments they ever make. It has an impact on their future. So it's a big deal. And they're looking to us to be a guide, a voice of reason, and a cheerleader during one of the most stressful things that they're going to go through. So I kind of put together 3 steps, that go towards building that relationship. So the first one is don't just talk, listen, which I think, I know I'm at fault for all the time. You get excited and you want to just share all this information, educate them. And a lot of the times we just need to step back, and let them talk, let them tell us what they're wanting, what they're envisioning, what they're needing. I think that that's huge in beginning that relationship with your client.
I think so. Can you give us some examples? Well, first of all, I want not only do our audience want to hear these 3 tips, which are so important. The first one's awesome, but I also want you to integrate what Homes for Heroes is and how you apply that to that lead source for you.
Yeah. So Homes for Heroes is, like you said, our ministry here in Colorado Springs. We have got 4 military bases, so it's pretty huge. But Homes for Heroes doesn't just focus on our military. It's also for teachers or anybody in the education industry, for healthcare workers, first responders, all of that. And it's our way to give back and say thank you for what they do in our community. So how we implement that is through every transaction, we give them back money. It can go towards, if it's a buyer, their closing costs or, moving expenses, whatever they need it for. And then the same for seller, we do that as well. And then also we have another 5% that goes back to our Hero Foundation. So it's a really cool program that allows us to do that and make it more about our clients than about a sale.
Awesome. So how do you meet these people? So if you were going to give an example of how your first tip, listen to people and start the conversation, how would you do that? Give us an example.
So a big thing for us, and this kind of leads into the other ones as well, is social media is huge. It's very powerful. So even just with interacting with our sphere, my sphere in particular, on social media, reminding them that I'm there, putting little posts out, every once in a while during the week to remind them of what we do and why we do it. Or even when you're, at the store or really anywhere, picking up your kids from school, being able to share it with their teacher, they're huge. Just starting those small conversations. And a lot of people will bring it up themselves, especially in this market, that, wow, this market is so hot, especially if they know you're a realtor, and they open that door for you to kind of, lead into bringing that in a conversation.
For sure. All right, give us our next tip.
So the next
tips from Talitha. You need your own show. Tips from Talitha.
The next one is know your audience. So I am a firm believer that everyone is very different, and everyone is going to need a different version of you. You're going to have people who are very anxious, have a lot of anxiety, and they need you there to calm them, reassure them, and kind of, hold their hand through that transaction. A lot of the times, as we all know, we become a therapist too, not just a realtor. So that is important. And then you have people that, I lost my train of thought. That was my who helps me focus and on track. So again, just guiding them. So knowing your audience, you're going to have people who are a little bit more laid back, or people who are a little bit, more buttoned up, and just knowing who you're speaking with. And that goes into, listening to them. When you listen to somebody, instead of talking over them, you're going to learn who they are, what makes them tick, all of that.
Yeah, you know what? That's so wise, because what people forget is you can't use the same approach. And this is, if we have people in the audience who are just in sales in general, it doesn't even have to be real estate. Yeah. This is just true of people, by the way. We're just talking about people. And you can't approach everyone the same way and be effective. You can if you want to, but your effectiveness really goes down. So I know that for me, I'm not a person who really likes a lot of detail, but there are lots of people who they need detail and facts. And so if somebody needs that, if you're going to serve them well, you need to show up as the person they need you to be with the information, how they need to receive it. So I love that tip. That's huge. If anyone wants to learn how to do that better, I'll put my email in the chat too. I have a great training on the DISC profile, which helps you to understand the way God has wired other people differently than yourself, and you can be more effective in your communication. This is just a life thing, so you don't even have to be in real estate.
Yeah, it's huge. And then the last one is make a lasting impact, which, again, we do through Homes for Heroes. So make sure at the end of the day that, they don't forget your name. I always say that our job does not end when we're at the closing table or after they sign. It's only beginning. And doing small things, like the Homes for Heroes, giving back to them in that way, but also, adding them on Facebook or Instagram, liking their posts, commenting, watching their stories, sending them cards, to say happy birthday or happy anniversary, all those little things to show them that they weren't just a paycheck. You genuinely care about them and their future, and you're just going to see referrals come back. They're going to come back, when they're ready to sell or buy again, and send people to you. I mean, we had an example of that is a girl in our team, Sarah. She got an online lead, and unfortunately, they couldn't qualify just yet. And then this weekend, she sent me a text and said, I can't believe this, but they referred somebody to me. And I'm like, that is such a good example of she made that impact on them. They didn't even go through a whole transaction with her, but they knew we can trust her, she cares, and we're going to refer our friends to her. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, I can't believe how many people, and this is, again, just sales in general, how many people just complete the transaction and then disappear. In fact, our National Association of Realtors says that, unfortunately, about 96% of agents disappear after the transaction. Yeah. And the funny thing is what a reward to have somebody you've already worked with, you already know them, they know you. How wonderful it is to do business with most of those people. Most of the people, most of the people are it's just that's like a pleasure. So why wouldn't we set ourselves up for that? It's good for them, because they know you and trust you, and it's good for you because you have that relationship. I don't know why people drop the ball. It's crazy.
Yeah. It blows my mind. And then it really isn't that hard when you think about it. I mean, with our Homes for Heroes, ways that we do that is, if for our teachers in our schools, we'll pop in and say, hey, can we bring you lunch? Can we bring you coffee? And attach our cards to that and a little pamphlet about Homes for Heroes and hand that out. Same with, going down to the police station or the fire station, we have girls on our team that's kind of their main focus, and they do that as well too. So any little thing, I mean, even if it's a $5 coffee card, it means something. So
it just says you're thinking of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a question.
So tell me.
The Homes for Hero Foundation, that part of the commission goes toward. Can you talk a little bit about that, what they do?
Yeah, so the Homes for Heroes Foundation is big in supporting our heroes, our local heroes that were either injured or had something happen, while they were serving. So it goes to supporting their families and supporting the hero themselves in whatever they're needing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I never get sick of your passion for it and your team's passion. So Talitha works with a whole group of realtors who share that passion. And if you want to know more about that program or even talk to Talitha about, she has partners all over the place. So you could be a partner with her too. So if you want to get in touch with her, I put her email in the comments, and please reach out to her. And as always, Sam is in Wisconsin. She is an amazing realtor. If you need help in Wisconsin. And so anything else? And Iowa, that's right. I forgot.
Iowa now. Yes.
That's right. Iowa and Wisconsin, which is incredible. You're incredible. So any closing thoughts or words from either of you?
I just want to know more. I'll email you for more information because I want to know more about Homes for Heroes.
Yes, of course.
Talitha, thank you. As always, you're a pleasure. And guys, reach out and get some information from anyone you need to on this call, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.